Hey there, welcome to the channel. I do not always have time to make a big breakfast. Most of the week I have yogurt or cereal, and then on the weekends, sometimes it's a bigger meal. So today, let's do some gluten-free breakfast prep so we can have a hot breakfast in seconds. Today, we are gonna make gluten-free egg bites. They're tender, they're fluffy. We don't need any fancy equipment. We're not gonna use a sous vide or anything like that. You can make them any way you want. I'm gonna do them two ways, depending on what kind of ingredients you have in your house. And I've even found some time to have a special guest on this episode. Stick around for that. I'm Jamie with SavorySaver. I share gluten-free recipes, tips, tricks, and resources to make your gluten-free lifestyle easier. So please consider hitting subscribe and let's get started. Okay, let's go over some recipe notes before we get started. I did say we're gonna make these two different ways. So the original recipe I saw was on the YouTube channel, Mandy in the Making. I watch her videos on a regular basis. She actually pulled this recipe from another website, so that will be linked below if you want the full directions. I've kind of made it my own recipe. She made it her own recipe. So basically this is a follow the directions, but not necessarily the ingredients recipe. We are gonna do the full recipe, but I'm gonna do it as two halves because we're gonna change one ingredient and see if it looks and tastes any different. So one of the things that's viral right now for some reason is cottage cheese. It was hugely popular in the 80s and now it's back again X amount of years later. I remember my mom having cottage cheese when we were little on a regular basis. It used to be a diet thing lots of times. Now it's a high protein thing. So we're gonna use cottage cheese in part of the recipe, but then I'm gonna actually swap that out for yogurt and we're gonna see if it comes out any different because lots of times you might not have cottage cheese in the house, but you might have yogurt or vice versa. And if you have one, why go out and buy the other if both work? So we're gonna do that. In regards to the ingredients I'm using, you can use whatever you want in this. We just need eggs and the cottage cheese or yogurt. And then after that, it's a blank palette. If you want bacon, use bacon. If you want sausage, use sausage. If you want vegetables, add those. If you want spices, add those. All of that is totally customizable to what you and your family eat. So this is not gonna take a long time. So let's get started. All right, so these are not gonna take long at all. So I'm gonna prep my pan and I'm gonna turn on the oven to 350 degrees so it's ready when I am. So these came out great for not having any kind of sous vide or anything. They were super tender, they were super fluffy. So very excited to make them again. I have a non-stick muffin pan. And I am gonna spray it, but I'm gonna spray it lightly. The protein in the eggs tends to stick to muffin pans and all of that. You guys know how hard it is to clean pans sometimes after eggs. So this is non-stick. I am gonna do it lightly though, because it did really good coming out for me last time. And I don't want my eggs to be greasy. So use whatever spray you like and spray accordingly to what your pan tends to cook like. Let's put that to the side. All right, so ingredients. The original recipe actually said 6 eggs and it would make 6 muffins. What I found when I did it last time, it was actually just last week, I did 6 eggs and the cottage cheese and I got 12 muffins out of it. So this should still make the 12. I'm just gonna make part with cottage cheese and part with yogurt. So I've got 3 eggs to add to the blender. I am using a blender. I do think this is the best method, especially if you are trying to get that fluffiness to it because it's gonna add some air into the recipe and it's gonna make it really smooth. If you only have yogurt, then maybe you do wanna try it with just hand mixing or the hand mixer to see how it does. But we do want some air in that and we do want it really smooth. All right, so for the cottage cheese and the yogurt, I'm cutting the recipe into doing 2 halves. So I'm gonna do 1/2 cup in each 3 eggs. The cottage cheese, this is small curd, 4% milk fat. Use what you want. In regards to the yogurt, I would also use what you want. Most likely you're gonna want plain, of course. And I don't know that Greek or traditional yogurt is gonna matter. Greek's a little thicker, so maybe the eggs will come out a little fluffier. I don't know for sure, but we are going to use a blender, so it's all going to get blended together anyway. So I would use whatever. It's still a high protein item, so use what you want on that. In regards to the meat, I'm going to use these sausage links, use ham, use bacon, use whatever. I do about a link per muffin cup. I'm obviously making 12, so it's not going to be quite a link. So I got these at Aldi's. I don't see any gluten-containing ingredients in it. It only says it contains soy, but I also do not see gluten-free anywhere on the box. So whatever meat choice you are using, definitely make sure it's gluten-free and certified gluten-free if you need that. My choice of seasonings is going to be a spicy kind of pepper blend, salt and pepper. And to differentiate the yogurt ones from the cottage cheese ones, I'm going to use some chives in 6 of them. We'll decide which one I'm going to do that in just a minute. All right, back to the sausage. I'm going to open the box, microwave them for 45 seconds to a minute just to thaw them, and then I'm going to chop them up and we'll get everything put together. All right, guys, batch number 1, 3 eggs, half a cup of cottage cheese, salt to taste, pepper to taste, and of course any other seasonings you want to taste. Hot sauce would be good in here if you like hot sauce in your eggs. All right, and put the top on, or the bottom, however you want to look at it. All right, let me get this blended up. We'll show you what it looks like. All right, guys. I just blended it until it was smooth. So once it's smooth, you're good. So we'll put this to the side for just a minute. All right, back to the muffin tin. I ended up cutting each link into 5. So I'm just gonna put 4 in each one and one will have an extra. And you can do this however you want. So if you wanna cut them smaller, you can. Now, I don't even think I mentioned the cheese, but we're gonna do cheese because they're really good in egg bites. Use whatever kind of shredded cheese that you want. And I'm not going to give you measurements because I don't think it needs it. Put in whatever you want. I just do a small handful. You don't have to mix all this stuff in. The egg will cook around it and bake up around it. So don't worry about mixing everything with the egg. All right. Now all I need to do is pour this on each one. So you want to do about 2/3 to 3/4 full. I just went through and poured, and then I went through and leveled out what I could when I did it the first time. They are going to puff up when they bake, and they are going to sink some when they come out of that oven. So I don't think you'll have any problems with them baking over the pan. So I can tell the difference. I'm going to put my chives on top of the cottage cheese ones. That's how I did it the first time, so that'll help me remember the right ones when I take them out of the oven, hopefully. All right, first half is done. I'm going to repeat the process with the yogurt this time. One thing to note about using yogurt as opposed to the cottage cheese is there's probably less salt in the yogurt, so you may find you need a little extra salt for seasoning, depending on how much salt you like in things. So there's the one with the yogurt, and in just looking at it, I really can't tell any difference. All right, guys, these get baked in the oven. No special water bath, no sous vide machine, 20 to 25 minutes. We want to make sure everything's set, of course. Then we're going to let them sit for a few minutes after coming out of the oven before we pop them out of the muffin cups. And I will double check that time in just a second. So let's put this in the oven and let me tell you about our little guest today. All right, so I had mentioned on one of my last videos that at some point I would like to have sponsors on this channel, but I thought it would be fun today to take 30 to 45 seconds to have a special guest star on that is probably going to be way more fun than any sponsored post. So today, while Tara has not agreed to be on film yet, Oliver, my 5-year-old Sheltie, said he would be on film. he also doesn't have much say in the issue. So you guys know I have a dog. He's briefly made it into a couple of videos, and I'm trying to be better about filming with him here because sometimes he's a lot, because I'm his person, even though Tara would love for him to be her person. And sometimes Daddy needs a break. So I'm gonna show you one of his favorite things to do. Every day we have to do it. And honestly, if I've been gone for a couple days out of town and Tara's home, the first thing that happens when I get home, I typically have to do this because if I don't, he won't leave me alone. So while I bake off these egg bites and do up a few dishes and some cleaning up while they bake, I'm gonna let Oliver entertain you for just a few seconds. Behind. Are you all done? More? So we are at about halfway through the bake time. And the only thing I'm noticing is that the yogurt ones on the right here don't look quite as fluffy as the cottage cheese ones. So it could be a consistency thing. The cottage cheese is thicker than my plain yogurt option was. So I think we're gonna be good, not super worried. I do like how they puff up, but they are gonna fall as soon as I take them out of the oven. So that whole bubble thing has been going on since he was a puppy. And now I have to do it 1 to 2 times a day. There are very few days I can get away with not doing it. We also go blow bubbles in the rain. Lots of times I just put on a raincoat because he doesn't care. So it all got started when he was a puppy because we're big fans of Dawn products in this household. And Tara was doing dishes and there was this little bitty soap bubble that was going around the kitchen. And surprisingly, we were able to show it to him and he tracked it until it popped. So I thought it was a good idea to go get bubbles. And you guys saw how excited he was. And now I have to do it all the time. And there's some days I don't want to do bubbles. But that's what we have to do. And he also gets super picky about it. He doesn't like the little bubbles. He likes the big bubbles. So on days where I can't get big bubble, he ignores like groups of bubbles because he's waiting for the big ones. So he is highly intelligent and he knows what he wants. And he also knows it drives me crazy some days. It's like having a toddler in the house full time, and I've never had children in my house as my own. But in any case, we love him. He's his own little dog. And now I think it's time for us to look at those egg bites. All right, guys, so this is what they look like. Of course, they deflated as soon as they came out of the oven, but now they're all about the same height. These look a little puffier still overall. So I'm just gonna use a spoon, get them out of here. They should not stick very much, to be honest. I'm gonna get them transferred over to a plate and then we'll give them a taste. Here are the egg bites, all done. And they baked up very similar once they shrunk back down. The cottage cheese ones I think are slightly puffier even still. But overall, the baking process is the same. I don't notice any more moisture in one than the other. The cottage cheese ones look like they might be a little browner on the top, which I'm okay with. So let's try the yogurt ones because I already know that the cottage cheese ones are nice and fluffy and have a really good texture. So we'll try that one and then we'll go over any recipe notes. All right, so I've got this one here. Let's break it open. It still is pretty warm. There's the inside of it. It is nice and eggy looking. It's nice and fluffy. It has a really good texture. It's almost creamy. And honestly, it could have probably baked a minute or two more if you wanted it more done. I think it's plenty cooked through, but another minute or so I don't think would hurt it. I did it about 22 minutes, I think. Really good texture. They're not tough. They will dry a little bit as they cool. I noticed last time that right now they're still pretty wet because they're just out of the oven. So once they cool, they'll be better as far as the moisture that you can see on them. I will say, note number one is to make sure they're cooled completely before you pop them in the fridge, because if not, you're gonna have condensation build in that bowl that you put them in or whatever storage container you're using. All right, let me finish this bite, grab my cup of coffee, what's left of it, and we'll go over notes. All right, so recipe notes on these. In regards to baking, I can't tell one over the other. The original ones I made last week when my folks were in town, I did the full batch, all cottage cheese. And the ones I just made with the yogurt tasted just as good as the other ones. So I don't know that one is any creamier or fluffier than the other as an end result. So I would use whatever you have in the house. I also saw a recipe that said you could use ricotta cheese, which makes total sense because it's the consistency of cottage cheese, just the curds are super small. So any of those options would be great. Greek yogurt may make everything a little bit thicker after it's blended. I do suggest using a blender or stick blender because we want some air to incorporate, and unless you're a super fast whisker, I don't necessarily think you're gonna get the same results. But it can't hurt to try if you don't have a blender, or try the hand mixer if you have one of those and it's easier for you to get out and less dishes, then grab that and try that and see what it does. It can't hurt to try. I don't think it's gonna screw it up. It's just gonna be a little different consistency-wise. Storage. I originally made the full batch, my folks were in town, and I just stored them in the fridge and we had them over the next few days. So I made the original batch that I made on a Thursday. I finished them off on Sunday and they were fine all the way through that. We each had a couple every day. 2 is a good serving for that. So you're not gonna get a full egg in each cup, but you'll get about an egg in 2 of them, as well as a couple links of sausage. Sausage is not your only option for meat. Use whatever you want in your eggs. I don't think there's anything that you probably couldn't put in there if you have it with eggs on a regular basis. I would suggest maybe if you did stuff like onions and bell peppers, just kind of play around with that a little bit. You might find that if you use them raw, they might not be cooked enough for you. So then maybe next time you saute them slightly before popping them in those muffin tins. Longer storage. I looked at multiple recipes. They are totally freezable. So I would cool them down totally to room temperature. And then I think the best option is to freeze them on, a sheet pan in the freezer until they're solid, and then pop them into a storage bag. That way any moisture that's left in them will freeze, as opposed to them wanting to stick together potentially. They'll freeze, they last in the fridge for 4 days, 5 days. So if you're freezing them, they should be good for 2 or 3 months in the freezer minimum. Reheating. From the fridge, they're gonna need, if you're having one, or maybe you have a kid that only wants one, I would go about 40 seconds. If you're doing 2, I would do around a minute in the microwave on high. If you're freezing them, I would start that same process, but start at a minute and see if that works if you're doing a couple of them or even one of them, because it's got a thaw as well. So I would try a minute. A couple recipes I looked at said anywhere from 50 seconds to a minute, minute and a half. So just play around with that. With your microwave, it's probably, it could be different as far as wattage. So I think a minute is a good starting point. Overall, I did not think I would like this recipe as much as I did the first time I made them. I like that it doesn't require anything really fancy. We're not having to cook them in a water bath. They're also cost effective because even though eggs prices are still up, it took half a dozen eggs. I'm getting, if you figure I have 2 a piece, I'm getting 6 meals out of that. And the frozen brown and served sausage I got at Aldi, I think was on sale for $1.19 for a box when I got it. So very cost effective. Ingredient wise, will fluctuate that cost, but overall it's a nice inexpensive meal prep breakfast. Gluten-free. No one cares that there's not any gluten in it. So if you have a multi-family like our family, as long as everyone eats eggs, then you're good to go for breakfast to cover everyone. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our little break with Oliver. Please let me know about that down in the comments below. Hopefully it wasn't too much for you. I know he was behaving that day, so it wasn't too much for me when I filmed it yesterday. Other than that, that's all I have for today. So thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.